drama. Let's get right to it, guys. 824. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan 680.
Mandra, that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. You know what to do, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And let's get right to it. Angela, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about one of our most anticipated films for the spring, The Drama. Starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
I'm here.
A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails.
Yep.
So, Ryan, kick us off. We were both excited for this. I know we love both of the leads. The trailer hooked us in right away. It was super interesting. What were your thoughts going into this, and did this meet your expectations?
Yeah, no. So here's the thing. Before we saw this movie, I saw the press tour, and it was just really cool to see how Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are they have so much great chemistry, even off camera. I mean, obviously they were on camera, right? But besides their performances here, they really have a really great, they just seem like really great best friends off camera when they're doing their press junket. They even got asked funny questions. One of my favorite ones that I'm going to repost is probably going to be the one where they asked, would Spider-Man beat Batman? And Zendaya, because her husband is Spider-Man, she was just like, boom, strongly agree. And then Robert Pat's like, oh, no, I can't. And then Zendaya started laughing. She's like, you're sworn by law because you're Batman. It was just funny because it's just the inside that everyone knew, right? And so because Robert Pattinson is Batman, he's about to film this coming week, so it's gonna be very interesting to see that.
I feel like she just has great chemistry with most people that she works with. She just seems so funny and naturally cool and laid back. I would love to meet her. I think she's phenomenal. I think she's super great. I mean, I've loved her in a lot of the things. I didn't see her Disney days, I will say.
I didn't either. We were a little too old already.
But I think, of course, Euphoria threw her in the spotlight. She has exponentially grown since then with all the projects she's been in, and I love seeing her and stuff. So like anytime I see her name on the project, instant sold. Like I don't even know I have to know what it's about. I'm sold.
Yeah, no, and then when we first see her in Euphoria, and I was just like, Zendaya's in Euphoria. Reading the synopsis, you're just like, what? And then it's definitely a different tone, a different, more serious tone, and talks about troubled problems, and it's so real. And she does a fantastic performance. Like she's living it. She's living that. I mean, I don't want to say anyone's living that drug addiction, but she definitely performed it to where it looked like she was. Going into this movie, this dark comedy, I guess, if you will, dark comedy, a drama about trust and love and morals, if you will. And this movie is so damn good. Oh my God. So I talked about the press junket, right? But man, on camera, Robert Pattinson is so charming. I mean, he's a British guy. It's all charming with Zendaya, and it's just they vibe off each other. They really do, and they really act off each other. And I thought it was really brilliant to see how great their chemistry really is on camera, even more so because of the fact that they're about to get married. So we knew that from the trailer. We knew some drama is about to happen, and I was just like, I'm here for the drama. I'm here for the tea. And even more so, you get to kind of see what point of their life are they at, and Angela mentioned it in after watching this. We'll talk about spoilers at the end, but does your past really define you in a way, or does your past mistakes haunt you 15 20 years later or whatever?
Because I think that's the whole point of the film is because in the movie they have a sit down with it's the couple and their friends who happen to be the best man and maid of honor. And they all, after a drinking game, say, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And all the secrets are revealed, right?
Yep.
So then it gets to the point of one person has a terrible thing that they have done. And like you say, does your past define who you are now? Can you grow from it? Can you have a second chance? Does it affect how people see you?
Yeah.
Even if it was, like you say, 15, 20 years before,
exactly.
At what point?
I got you.
Does it not matter, or does it still matter? There's a lot of questions, and I really, really like that because you see how the reveal of this secret, which we'll spoil at the end, but you see how it affects this young couple and affects their relationship and it's basically like a domino effect, if you will.
Yeah.
And now the secret's out. Can you unhear it? Can you not
Yeah, I got
let
you.
it affect you, right? It's really, really interesting. And for me, I will say, I think the friend's reaction, I will say the because it was the
very
best man,
extreme.
very extreme. But I
Very
will
extreme.
think that I think the maid of honor, Rachel,
Mhm.
I think her reaction, I would tantamount to like maybe online or public scrutiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people in the general public, if they were to be hearing something that's quote unquote bad,
Yeah.
very judgy, even though, you know, our own past selves were not squeaky clean either.
Yeah.
Very judgy, very unforgiving. So I think like Rachel kind of represents like the public opinion, public
what
eye,
people
if you will.
think, yeah.
The general public.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really clever. At least
Yeah.
for me, that's how I took it. But I think it was a really well done movie, really well thought out. Again, there's not a lot of like action per se, but it's very cringy because you just see the spiral.
Action dialogue.
Yeah,
like I
you
always
see the
say,
spiral that these characters go through as they get closer to the wedding.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I would say it's crazy. So it's very, very well done. Very, very well.
Yeah,
executed.
I was getting so embarrassed for Robert Pattinson's character in
so
here,
cringy.
Charlie, and I was just like, damn.
No.
I was just, I could not watch, and it was just definitely, it was definitely one of those things to where like shit, like
it's like secondhand embarrassment.
it's fucked up.
Yeah,
it really
so
is
crazy. A lot
but
of
it's
the
so
things
good.
It's so good. It's so good.
And that was one of the rich things that I really did love, and one of the things I always want to talk about is the fact that, you know, the drama, right? How does it get unfolded? How do people find out about it? Gossiping. And I love how Robert Pattinson's like, can y'all shut the fuck up? Stop gossiping. I was just like, damn, dude, bro, like you're just like making it worse for you.
It's
and
the paranoia of like who knows and who, what are they thinking about it, and you know how far can this you know not secret no more, but this truth go, you know what I mean? And especially during a sensitive time as a wedding, it just all like collides in the wedding. So I thought that was really well done, well thought out.
No, for sure.
The written and directed by Christopher Borgli. So I gotta say it was spectacular.
Yeah, you know, this movie was spot on, amazing. I just love the relationship dynamic here, and I love how the fact, and we'll talk about this, we'll talk about it very at the end, guys, but you know, the romantic comedy, I really enjoyed that. The psychological part of it, the fact that you had those dark thoughts, and we'll talk about that in a very second, but those dark thoughts, does it really say, do I even know this person? Like, oh my God, like, do I even know this guy or this girl or this girl, and it's just like, it's very revealing, it's very vulnerable at the same time, and at the same, a lot of thoughts are going in your mind, and you're just like, can I trust this person? This person's gonna kill me now. Like, knowing that she had bad thoughts.
Well, it was more like if she was in a dark place at this one point in her life.
What makes you think
she
can do it?
Capable of going back to that dark place in the future.
And it talks about like dark humor, has that dark humor mixed with a relationship drama, and it's a really good upbeat storytelling. It really is. It's such a good movie, man. Great film. I really enjoyed it. I think I even saw Halle Berry. We did it on Instagram, and she was like, "Such a great movie by Zendaya," and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then A24 shared it. Yeah, so A24 did a great job making this movie. Zendaya did a great job doing the press junket here. I feel like she was in the helm of everything. Like, she was in the center of it all. She did the Jennifer Hudson show. She was everywhere. She really was. And that's not to say Robert Pattinson wasn't, because they were both partners in this, and they were both doing the tour. They went to London. The Vogue one. I mean, they were doing so much for this movie, and I love that, because I feel like that Zendaya's like, no, let's do it. Let's do it. Like she wants to really, and I feel like this is a passion project for her, because she talked about it a lot in her press junket. So it was really good, and she even showed up to a random local theater.
Wow.
And she was wearing a Team Edward Cullen shirt. I thought it was really good, rich. And so, yeah, it was just like, I hope you guys like it or whatever. And I would have been screaming at my feet. I was like, oh my God, Zendaya. I would have been like, yes.
Yes, we both want to meet her. She seems like
she's fantastic.
Yeah, I would love to.
She's
she
great.
Seems so great, down to earth. I would just love to meet her.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's go to let's go to ratings real quick. What do you think about this rating, Angela?
I really like that it's like a food for thought. It makes you question. You kind of walk out of the theater and you do question not just, what happens in the film, but like, let's say you, like me, if I'm walking out of the theater, what was something like that happened to me in my real life? What would I do?
Yeah.
How would I react?
Yeah.
And it does kind of give you that question of like, what I wouldn't even know. It just depends on the severity, like the levels of, my values, morals, thoughts could be different from yours and somebody else's. So I think it's like that food for thought. I really, really liked that. That was a really cool concept of it. So I thought that was really well done. Acting was phenomenal. The story was great. Yeah. I would give it a solid 8 because I really enjoyed this film.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off and top that is the fact that I really love this movie. This movie's so fucking good. Everyone needs to go see this movie in the theater. Go fucking see it in the theater. That's all I'm saying. You better go see this in the theater. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson's performance really stood out. I saw critics talk about it, and honestly, I felt the same way. I feel like this movie works because of them two, because how great. Like I really honestly believe that they were a couple, and it was just, even though we know Zendaya just got married like a month ago or so, but still, it's just when you make us believe these certain aspects and these certain things that you're going through in your relationship. I thought that was really brilliant. I thought that was really good, and it flows very natural. Everything does, even though even the mistakes that they said that they did, like in the movie they admitted it was a mistake, right? Like certain things, and I feel like that was so good, and it just flowed very well, and I just loved every bit of it. I'm gonna give it a solid 9.3 out of 10, guys. I did enjoy this fucking movie, and this movie needs to be seen and heard in the movie theater. And then, of course, I would say Pattinson, even more so, questioning everything and being, I'm not lost, but just confused at times. I thought that was really brilliant.
You see the internal conflict he has.
It reminded me so much of that movie by A24, which was the very first movie that I saw him really, really stand out more after the Edward Cullen era. And not to say that it was a bad movie. No, it was just out of that era was the fact that he made the movie Good Time, which is by A24. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen that by Robert Pattinson, he does a fantastic job. And this is Twilight Boy is now Batman, so he was great in Batman as well. Some people seen him in Tenet, so he's a phenomenal actor. So, and we can't wait to see him in the Odyssey. I can't wait. He's gonna be in the Odyssey as well.
This summer.
Yeah, with a lot of people, but it's a very
A-listers cast.
It's a very bold story here. It's it makes everyone think about the bad thoughts that they once had or maybe thought of, and whether it's drugs or killing a person. It really talks about that, and I thought that's really vulnerable, and I love vulnerable stories. I really, really do. I love vulnerable stories. I love the dark humor, the conversation theming here, and it kind of started it because they were drinking, and you get to see that. So I thought that was really good. But anyways, so 9.3 out of 10, guys. There you have it. It's definitely an unnerved tone here, and it really does flow very well. But let's talk about the spoilers here. So, Angela, you want to reveal the spoilers? So, spoilers, guys. This is spoilers.
So, I think, like I said, what really brings this to light is this drinking game that they play.
Yep.
They each go around telling the worst thing they've ever done. I think the best man was like he used his ex-girlfriend as a human shield to shield against the dog. The maid of honor
wasn't even that bad.
She locked her neighbor, who was a little bit mentally slow, in a abandoned RV
she said
closet.
He was slow, not because I think Robert Pattinson said the R word. I was like, no,
he said mentally disabled.
Oh, mentally disabled.
But again, she locked him in a closet, left him there. The dad came to try and find him. She lied, said nope, never seen him.
Nope,
left him there. Right. Eventually, he was found.
She actually did it.
I think Robert Pattinson, I don't even know if he said anything.
No, he couldn't figure anything out.
And then Zendaya's, which was the character that was like the questionable one, was she said when she was younger, granted they're in their 30s now, but when she was about 15, she had been in a dark place, and she had planned to do a mass shooting at her school.
Yeah,
she had the weapon. She had the plan.
Crazy.
I think she was making the testimony, recording it afterwards.
Yeah,
but she didn't actually go through with it.
She had a plan who she's going to target as well.
Yeah, so she had
all that
the
stuff.
thought out plan. So I think that's what's disturbing. She didn't actually go through with it. She didn't harm anybody. She wasn't caught. I think she explained it later on of like how she decided against it, and how it turned her, how that moment of her deciding against it turned her life, so it steered her in a completely opposite path. Yeah. And of course, the maid of honor is just so horrified. She's like, my cousin was affected. She's paralyzed because of a shooting. Yeah. How could you do this? You're so disturbed. Yeah. Again, I think the maid of honor, Rachel, is a conduit of like...
Oh, she was acting like a cunt. She really was.
I think she's just a conduit of like public opinion. Yeah. Like we all have things in our past we're not proud of. Yeah. But yet, I think the public opinion just casts scrutiny on anything
judgment
that's just judgment.
Yeah.
Again, I personally think people can grow from mistakes.
From a dark place.
It is very shocking. I will say, if you had told me that like a week, the week of the marriage, that was very shocking. But I do think people are deserving of second chances. You see 100%. That obviously in Zendaya's character, she's grown from it. She just was in a dark place. She had no friends. She was very depressed. She was going through a lot, and she saw that error in her way. And as she explains it, she's different now. She's against guns now. She advocated against guns because of that. Because she saw, like you say, the light. But then
her friends started laughing and chippering. I was just like, oh,
again, my God. Like, I think the friend represents like public opinion. Like I think people in the public generally typically are so unforgiving. To certain things. I think another evidence of that, off topic, is from The Pit, how Dr. Langdon's character arc coming season 2. He was an addict in season 1. Now he's recovering. And not everyone's kind of accepting of it.
Well, except one person. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Not everyone. But I think that's the whole point. Can past mistakes, is there a scale of someone's done something or could have potentially done something very terrible? Is someone capable of growing from it? Are they deserving of a second chance? Do they deserve?
So
does that affect how you see them back then? Is that the person? You, like if you say you love the person, Robert Pattinson loves her. Does that affect your love for this person?
Yeah, I'm going to say this, and I believe in second chances, but that's it though. I'm a firm fucking believer on second chances. That's it. You do it after a second time, you're not fucking learning. That's it. You're out. So I'm gonna say that, right? That's my personal belief there. But here's the thing though, is that, your dark thoughts, she didn't do it. She never fulfilled it because, and we find out more. We find out that because she didn't do it, because there was another shooting at a local mall there.
Yeah. And I think
someone died. So here's the ironic part, because here's the thing. She was going to kill certain individuals that she hated.
That bullied her.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That bullied her, or even not even. Yes, like a couple of them bullied her, but more so like it wasn't just that. It was just she hated, and because of the bully that the bully had friends with, those she was gonna kill them too. So whatever. Right. So that was already happening. Right. And then when the killing happened in the mall, one of the classmates died. Really ironic that the mass shooting brought her together with more. I mean, I wasn't a mass shooting. Sorry, I was like three or under people, which is kind of true. Yeah. So 4 or more people die in a shooting is actually called a mass shooting, not 3 or less. But anyways, yeah. So a shooting that happened in a mall. Because of that, it's very ironic because of this person, because of the person that died in the classroom. They all came together. They had these vulnerability.
Well, they had the therapy. So they had like those grief sessions from a counselor.
But then they had the group one, which I thought was really good, which she was kind of going about. I thought that was brilliant. I mean, they never did that in my school.
Well, I think they had like counselors available, but they never like made the group thing that like. And I think, like I said, I think that's when she realized the effect of what she could have done, and that made
how
her
it
feel
affected everybody.
Very guilty. And that's when she's like, you know what, I honestly she was so sad. You see her breakdown, her 15-year-old self breakdown of like, I can't believe that.
Well, I think it's more than that though. I think it's more the fact that she was able to connect with other people. She got community. Now she was able to uplift and get community and get close to people because of that tragedy. And I feel like that turned her life around. And again, I know part of the conversation that Robert Pattinson was grappling with was she never sought official therapy, but I think finding, like you said, the group counseling is at the school, finding community, I think that in itself helped her find more purpose. That scene is so beautiful, and I just love how when it's like little Zendaya, and she's they go around. I thought that was really brilliant. I think schools need to do that a little bit more, because you get to walk around, you get to see people that you don't even know and you don't even talk to, and then you kind of just be like hug them or like just express it.
And you never know, maybe something like that could essentially help someone, not necessarily help someone like in the same situation, but help someone who is struggling. But I think also another interesting point was that the maid of honor was so vehemently judgy against, disturbed by Zendaya's admission, and
at their
Zendaya
wedding
technically didn't go through with it. Like, yes, it's a very disturbing thing that She thought this out. She planned it. She had the weapon. It was her father's weapon.
Yeah.
But she didn't actually go through it. There was no action taken to that. But yet the best friend, her thing was she actually maliciously locked a boy in a closet.
Yeah,
left him there. Did not inform anybody. When the dad came to look for the boy because he's missing, she lied to him. Authorities had to search. And she had that action. She did the action. So the question is, which one is worse? Because in her mind, she thought Zendaya's action was worse than her own. And
well, I'm not going to compare about that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a very interesting point. Like, is this thought, this terrible, terrible thought plan?
Yeah.
That can be compared to this tangible thing that actually happened.
It's definitely food for thought.
Yeah, it's definitely food for thought of like, there's a scale of like what each of us think is bad and wrong and terrible and disturbing, and it makes you question your own thoughts and morals.
Yeah.
And I like that because again, I'm gonna think differently than you. Think differently than everyone else out there. So I think it's a very, very food for thought. It makes you question your own
and we're
values,
human,
morals.
right?
Yeah, we're human.
We're human. So we're all gonna see it subjective, but in the light of everything, in the light of Easter, God sees it all sin, right? So I was just like, I mean, we may not all agree with that. We might not. Mm-hmm. That's fair because we're human. But when you get to see other, religion's aspect in here and you get to see that, it's like, damn, like it's really
I don't think
crazy.
I don't think religion had to do with it.
Yeah.
I think it was just like I said. I think it makes you question your own personal watching this because like if you're in that situation, your partner that you've loved and you're about to get married to reveals this terrible secret. What would you do in that case?
I really don't think it's a terrible secret though. Like I just don't feel it.
It's pretty shocking. It's very shocking.
It's shocking.
It is shocking that someone so young was pushed to that point.
Yeah.
It happens all over the nation. That is a big problem in this current times.
So then, essentially she was gonna, I mean, obviously she would not have survived more than likely. So it's like, it's a suicide mission if you think about it. And, but again, would it have been better if she kills herself? I mean,
it's very much like a food for thought of, you love this person, you hear this terrible thing they thought of, terrible dark place they were in several years ago. Does that affect how you think of them now? Does that affect the love you have for them now? Are they capable of growth? Are they not? Yeah. Again, I think it reflects on your own. Like it's very much like your own personal reflection.
Yeah. If I was Robert Pattinson and I was with Zendaya and I was all like, no, I mean, it would not have. I mean, I guess I would have been shocked, right? But I would have been more like, you don't have those thoughts anymore, right? I would be like, do you want to seek therapy now and talk about it with the therapist?
Well,
and like,
for me, I think I would agree with Robert Pattinson where I would just have a bajillion questions and like,
just like everything else,
ins and outs and how and
what made you feel that way?
What made you feel that way? What made you stop?
And then I love how he was leading the therapy session when he was like, "Yeah, but you saw the girl die in front of you, right? That's trauma." And then she's like, "No, I didn't."
But that's how it affects his character. So he tries to justify his love, like he's trying to explain to her, like I said, because the friends are very much like against it. Like you can't grow, you can't do anything. You're like, that's a mistake. You're gonna live with that. That defines who you are today.
Yeah.
And he's very much like, well, she's gone through trauma. He's trying to justify it so hard. So you see him spiral.
Yeah.
As it gets closer to their wedding.
Yeah.
And I think that is a very real reaction.
Yeah.
Because again, I wouldn't know how to react. I do believe in second chances, but I don't think I would be like, oh yeah, that's fine. I think I would take a moment to process.
Yeah, you see way worse things, and even more so. And I'm sorry, I keep going back to religion, but even Paul, who was killing Christians, torturing them, God forgave him. Jesus forgave him. And that's the crazy part. It's like, no, I know, but that's why I'm a firm believer of second chances. It's like, you get, I mean, obviously she didn't kill anybody. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's not that bad, but it's really not that bad. You just had the thoughts. Anyone has ever had bad thoughts of doing something bad to somebody that they hated at that moment? I mean, you never know. But here's the thing. She brought up a great, or was it her or Robert? I forgot who it was. They were talking and they showed videos of the city. And it was like, what did they say? I said, well, how do you know you never had a bad thought? All I know is that everyone has bad thoughts. And I don't even know you had a bad thought of killing me or me killing someone else. And the fact that because you never spoke it, it never came true and it never happened.
He was saying there's plenty of people out there that have bad thoughts they just live normal lives.
Yeah, they live normal lives and they have a normal, and honestly, it's just a simple bad thought. I mean, even more so, like, because I think the girl or some other girl he was talking to was like, "What's the worst thing you ever did?" It was one of his colleagues, and she's like, "Oh, it cheated." I said, "That's not that bad." Like wasn't what he was looking for. But no, but like cheating when though? Were they a boyfriend girlfriend? Because it's really, if they were boyfriend girlfriend for like a month, that's not that bad. But it's like
conversation
yeah,
is very much like
it's subjective.
Opens the floodgates
it's subjective
of like
yeah,
your own personal scale of
what is good and bad,
or what's the morally gray area.
Yeah,
is this
exactly
more good, more bad? Are there circumstances like
exactly?
And I think we all have that opinion. Like I said, I think we all have our own personal of like, this is what I think, this is what I believe. Yeah. And circumstances could change it. So I think this is a very, very good food for thought film.
No, it is. It's subjective because it's like, well, that's not that bad. Or that's not that bad.
But
like it's like,
I would think that certain things are different.
Yeah.
I have a different opinion, different feelings. Yeah. And so again,
like
I think
cheating's bad, but it's like
I think cheating is terrible.
No, but cheating's bad, but it's like, when did you cheat? Like it's like, okay, were y'all boyfriend girlfriend for like the first month, and then were y'all like still identifying the relationship? So it's a lot of factors in though. It's not like a simple gray. Okay, let's be honest. It's not a gray and white answer. There's no such thing as a black and white answer. There's not. It's like
I think certain things there are black.
I mean,
and white.
it's tough because it's not because then it's
certain
like
things there are black and white.
I have to disagree. I'm all like, yeah, there's not because it's just you got to identify the situation. You got to figure out what factors in, and you know, a lot of times it'll be like a lot of people they go to prison because they killed somebody, but it was a self-defense, but they weren't able to prove it. So it's like stuff like that, it's just like, you never know. You never know. It's not black and white. It's not.
I said certain things.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, exactly. Name me a certain thing.
Cheating.
Oh, okay. All right.
Black
whatever.
and white. You either did it, you didn't.
No, but did you identify that relationship?
If you have,
if you have, yes, I agree. But if you're like on and off and it's like the first month and you're like, well, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? And if you have to ask that question to your significant other, you're really, I mean, it's tough.
No, my significant other, I would be like, are we? Yes or no? And then once it's yes,
here we go.
Anything after that, and you do.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. But anything before that, it's free game. She's gonna get. I'm trying to get her. I'm trying to get her nerves.
I'm not gonna argue with this.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We just argued right now. We're fucking arguing right now.
This movie is a really good point of like
this movie got us arguing.
Has their own opinions and judgment and values, morals, whatever you will. They have their own thoughts on certain aspects.
It's like another TV show is doing the exact same thing. Another great TV show, Daredevil, is making everyone feel the same way as well. Fisk, everyone thinks he's a hero to the as being the mayor, and some people like Daredevil believe
more like
he's
our current political climate.
But that is true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, but again, there's not a black and white answer. It's crazy.
I think if you really like movies that make you think. And make you
about
ponder,
everything about life,
make you question and self-reflect. I think if you like those movies, you'll really like this film because again, it's very well done, very well thought out. I think the acting was spectacular. Like I said, this makes you really question yourself of like, if I was put in this situation, how would I react? What would I think? Yeah. And that is definitely going to be different than the person next to you, your mom, dad, sister, brother, significant other, friends.
To be like, I never had any bad thoughts. Oh my God. I was like, okay, you're perfect, bitch. All right, get the fuck out.
I do think that it's going to cause a lot of conversation, especially around certain aspects, like, of course, mental health and everything.
You're like, oh my God.
I think the big one is,
bless your heart.
Someone capable of change.
It's like reality TV all over again. Bless your heart. It's just that's the thing too. It's never that black and white answer in reality TV either. I've
never heard that say on reality TV.
Oh my God, here we go. It's not a simple answer. I'll say that. It's not. It's like the reality. What was the reality show we were watching? Age of Attraction.
Oh jeez.
See, the society will be like, what, a 60-year-old with a 28-year-old? Oh my God, that's the worst. But then you don't ever know. They didn't last, but they could be the love. They could be the love of their life, and they're just generations.
And again, that's subjective of what you think is right and wrong.
And I don't care as long as they're in love.
And that was a controversial
but they do say that when a man's with a younger girl, it's not that bad. But when a woman's dating a younger guy, a cougar is dating a cub, that's very different. And society sees that as very different. So
because society is typically hypocritical.
Yeah,
double standards for women.
Damn right it is. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. You saw us start an argument here. We started unraveling the grittiness, the details. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for making this part of your day. We're gonna end it right here. We're 30 minutes in. Oh my gosh. Normally we don't do these long reviews, but we had to talk about spoilers. We had to talk about the controversial conversation here, and that's what that was. So there you have it. Let us know you want to listen more. We'll make it a little bit more spectacular on our spoilers reviews from now on, but who knows? All right, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can learn Ryan 680. This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you at the movies. Catch you later, guys. Peace.